Yo, it's Harlem on the rise, yo, we love to get the money. This a podcast, you can catch us being funny. Yeah, from 7 to 9, we litty and live. So stop everything, this is serious vibe. Catch us on a Wednesday, it's litty on a hump day. Listen in your car, got the Beamer or the Hyundai. Facebook Live, we live on the rec. You can.
Wow, welcome to this monster drink is crazy. Yo, Callie, explain to them how it was when I walked in here before I had this monster.
Doc, you was real dry until you had this Monster Energy drink right here. I'm telling you, like, this is a picker-upper.
I said I drank this monster drink. Y'all got to get with the program, champ.
Welcome to the B139. I'm Doc.
I'm Don Vito. How y'all feeling? What's good?
What's up, everybody? I'm Callie.
Okay, so we would like to welcome our first guest tonight. He's the CEO of a fashion label, CYI Soon, Georgia Court University college student, and basketball player. Bryce Council, how you doing, Bryce? Welcome to the show. Bryce, what up, bro?
What's up, man? Appreciate you guys having me here today, man. I'm excited.
Okay, good to have you, man. So you grew up in Harlem and attended LaSalle Academy, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. And some of the notable athletes that went there was like Shamgard, Meta World Peace, and stuff like that. Did you get to meet them?
Yes, sir. Well, actually, before I went to LaSalle, my 8th grade year, I worked out with Shamgard all summer at Menacing in Harlem. So I definitely got to meet Sham. I was supposed to meet Ron a couple of times, but I didn't get a chance to meet him yet.
Okay. So why did you pick up business administration in college?
Well, first, I definitely knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur and definitely be able to pursue my dreams without anybody putting a cap on me or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to go into the business side of things because I was also always fascinated with just like how everything works inside of business. So I wanted to learn the ins and outs, and then also have a father who's in business. So I definitely wanted to pick up in those footsteps a little bit.
So let me step back for a second. So I'm not even going off the paper. You went to college, you had a degree for basketball, right?
Yeah, scholarship. Yeah.
Scholarship,
yes, sir.
Scholarship, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I had a scholarship for basketball.
Yep.
And that's where everything started. That was one of the goals we set when we went into LaSalle. You know, I told my dad, I told my mom what I wanted to do. I wanted to take that burden off of them about them worrying about college, and that's what I'm doing. Hopefully.
So I want to go back to the beginning. I like to break stuff back instead of jumping to the middle, right? Now, as far as your basketball, how old you start? How old was you start playing ball?
Probably 5. I want to say 5. 7 or 6 is when I played my first like actual game, 8 and under. I remember I played with I was 6. I believe I played with all 8-year-olds.
What team you played for?
Kims Bay Boys and Girls. That was my first team. I used to always practice with my dad was coaching the New Heights team with some guys in the NBA now. So I used to always be in the gym with them. I used to always try to dribble on the side sometimes. Occasionally when they didn't have 10, they'll throw me in there a little bit. I wasn't really doing anything, but I was out there.
And what position you played?
Point guard. I like to tell people center, but they kind of didn't know why I stand up.
So that basketball thing you always been doing?
Yeah, I mean, actually, I've always had a lot of different dreams. That's one thing about me. Like I love like stepping in and tapping into a lot of different things. So basketball has always been my passion. It's always been my baby. Like I love basketball my whole life. So yeah, I want to say that was my dream, but I just feel like I wasn't that ordinary kid who just like dreamed NBA basketball and going to the NBA. That wasn't always me. You know, I always had a couple other different things in mind, different things I wanted to accomplish and do in my life. So
how long they were program on? How long you started that?
So first thing I just wanted to say, we definitely we started with a power and everything, but the biggest thing we are is a lifestyle brand. Got a lot of different stuff coming out that we can get into later. But how it started with my story, like I said. So going back to what you said about LaSalle. LaSalle was a big powerhouse back in the day. Like with Ron Artest, Shamgard, Lynn Cook went there at one point, and a whole bunch of guys in the NBA. They were a powerhouse at one point, and around my 7th grade, 8th grade year, they dropped divisions. They dropped to the lowest division in New York City. So in basketball and sports, in the Catholic League, it's AA, A, and then the B division. So my eighth grade year, we basically had a chance. I was out in school in Westchester, and we had a decision to make whether I was going to go to Cardinal Hayes, my dad's alma mater, which is a AA, still a powerhouse now in New York, or if I was going to go to LaSalle. And after meeting my LaSalle coach, I knew that's where I needed to be. And my goal was to get there and change that culture and to be the first one in 10 years to sign a national letter of intent. So that was my goal, and I ultimately accomplished it. And I got the first ever Federation championship from LaSalle. So all those guys who went there, no shots being thrown at them, but I was the one to be the captain and lead the team to a Federation championship with a record of 27-2. So it started from that because nobody usually signs from a B division school. You hear about the St. Raymond's, you hear about the Bryce, Cardinal Hayes, all that stuff. You don't really hear about the LaSalles and Cathedral Preps and Sacred Hearts. Like a lot of people don't really know what those schools are. So my thing was to try to do something that wasn't done. So it's a whole bunch of people in the AA division who don't get scholarships. So I knew I had to be 10 times better to get a scholarship from the B division. So that's what I did. I won the Federation championship. I got my first scholarship offer, I believe, in October, going into my senior year. And I remember just crying. And it was at points where nobody believed in me. Everybody was telling me to transfer from LaSalle. You can't get a scholarship from there. You can't stay there. And I just stayed the course, and I believed in myself, and I counted myself in. That's where the CYI part soon comes from. So I counted myself in, and I made something out of nothing.
So what it was about the coach? Because you said you knew once you met with him that you wanted to go in there. His recruiting pitch. How I felt, number one, a coach coming to you, recruiting you in high school. This is the first time, you ever been through this. What was about him when you said you knew it was the right choice? What he said to you that triggered?
Actually, he didn't really say much. I met him at Rucker Park. LaSalle was playing in a tournament, and one of my middle school coaches was standing with him and talking to him. So I went over there. This is before I talked to him. Like I said, I was working out with Sham, so I'm really close with his brother. So his brother was like, he's going to talk to the LaSalle coach, definitely see what we can do. So this is before I knew I was really going to LaSalle. I see my middle school coach. My middle school coach is asking me, my middle school teacher's asking me, like, what high school you going to? And I jumped the gun and I said, oh, I'm probably going to go to LaSalle. He's like, oh, yeah, you going to play there? I'm like, yeah, for sure I'm going to play there. And the coach looked at me and he said, you are? I said, and then my middle school teacher introduced me, like, oh, this is the LaSalle coach. And I was just there looking like, oh, man, I think I messed up because I said something before anything was even working. So then after that, we actually did talk. We had a conversation. And then I just knew, like, his personality and everything. And I'm just so happy I made that decision and stuck with it.
So who and what was your motivation to choose basketball out of all sports? What made you want to choose the game?
Definitely gotta say my dad. My dad really put me in a position to play basketball. Like, I think he didn't force it.
He plays as well?
Did he play?
He played. Did he play or did he play?
Listen,
Come on, Doc.
listen. He told me he did, but judging on the way his jump shot, exactly. I haven't seen any pictures or anything. So listen, he played. All right.
Not to mention, guys, dad is on the audience. So
He played. Now Bill played with his kids.
Oh, okay. I might have been the worst team around. I'm playing.
So let me ask you a question. So we heard all about your basketball and stuff like that. Right? So what made you choose fashion as a career, like the athletic clothing line? So tell everybody what CYI, I assume.
Okay,
what's
so
the meaning behind all that?
Okay, so originally, like I said, from my story, last year being in college, I got hurt. I tore a ligament in my foot, so I was sidelined. I couldn't finish out the year. I really hit like a low in my life. I felt like just not being able to play basketball and just going through a lot being in college. My first time being away, living on my own, can't really go talk to mom or go talk to dad about what's going on. So I really was sad, and I went to the gym one day. just working out in the gym, and I just had on a whole bunch of Nike stuff, and I looked in the mirror, and just to backtrack a little bit, before on my Instagram, I kept saying I was gonna come back soon. I was gonna be back soon. I was gonna come back soon. I'm gonna come back stronger. And I kept hashtagging soon. I didn't know what it meant, so I started writing on my phone different things about soon. Like, what can it mean? What can this mean? Because this is sticking out to me. It's something about this that has to mean something. So I'm in the gym, I'm working out, and I got all this Nike on. All of this Nike on. So I'm looking in the mirror as I'm doing the set, and I just drop my weights. I'm like, I got it. I just ran to my room. I was talking to my friend. I'm just like, I got it. Soon. Something out of nothing. This is perfect. This is what my story means. This is exactly what it is. And I'm like, I'm talking to my friend, and he's like, what'd you have to do to get here? Like, we're just sharing stories. I'm like, I had to count myself in. I had to believe in me. Another light bulb. So just all these light bulbs adding up, and I'm just like, I don't even know what Nike means. Literally, I got all this Nike on. I have no idea what it means. So it was like, why not make something that means something to people, mean something to people come behind me? One thing I always wanted to do is leave situations better than I found. Just like at LaSalle, my first year there, we were 6-20. We were 6-20. My last year, we were 27-2. So I just always wanted to leave something better, and I wanted to give the youth. Everybody can't be that top recruit going to Duke or going to Kentucky. Some people got to be Division II kid. But guess what? At the end of the day, we both still on scholarships.
Right.
Both our parents
Right, you're
aren't
still finding your way, exactly.
And they don't have to pay.
Exactly.
So that's important.
That's the biggest part. So I just wanted to try to motivate and inspire people to know, like, everybody has a different story. Everybody's nothing is different. You know, we're all different. So that was the biggest thing of how we got started.
What's your relationship with Cole Anthony?
That's my cousin. That's my boy. That's my best friend. That's everything. That's my guy right there. Literally just got off the phone with him if I walked in here.
See, that's a good thing because he can help market your clothing line.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly just him being a genuine, like, good person. You know, yesterday we were over at ESPN Studios where he made his college decision. He threw on a Soon hoodie on national TV. Wow. Threw on the hoodie, and it was just like, I didn't even tell him to do it. He did it on his own. So that was just love right there. So that's my boy forever. Since we was kids, you know, started this basketball thing with him. As soon as I told him I wanted to do some stuff, it was like, took off. So that was a good thing. Yeah,
that's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
So when you're coming up with your designs, do you have any partner who helps you come up with anything different? And do you have things for ladies as well?
Yeah. Okay. So that's a great question. So the first thing we always do is always have a meeting. Is me, my creative director over there, Randy. He does all my amazing videos and things like that. Mm-hmm. I have my boy KJ and my boy Ryan. So it's four of us all together that help out. Yeah, we're just a big team. So the first thing I always do, I call them with one of these crazy ideas, like just something crazy, son. I believe in it. Like, oh, that'll be good. And then sometimes they tell me, all right, you sound a little crazy. Relax. Let's call later. So basically, the first thing I do is we come up with a story. Everything that soon means, it's a whole story behind it. So the first thing we ever did before we even made a design or anything, honestly, we was like, we want to make a video that's gonna relate to people, that's gonna get people watching and understanding. So that was the first thing we did. I just went. I'm like, I need a shirt with soon on it. Let's play around. I went on the computer, made this up. Put nothing under it. We just went off that, and then we made our first video. That's how we got our Instagram going and everything like that. So once we do that, after we have our meetings, our conversations, we go in which direction we're trying to go.
Yeah.
I can't draw a lick, and I know that. So what I did, I put people around me who are good in areas that I'm not so good in. So, like, I'm not good with camera and technology. That's how I got my creative director. I can't draw or really write a stick figure, so that's why I got my boy Ryan, and my boy KJ keeps everything organized and everything like that. So Ryan, basically, I tell him what I want and what idea I have, and he basically draws it out on the shirt. I tell him, all right, I think we should move this over, I think we should fix this. Everybody give their ideas. I ask my friends what they think about certain things.
That's good, because that means everyone plays a big role. So everyone's, you dividing the work, you getting everyone's advice. That's good. That's good.
And that's why I was gonna go there before. Like, you know, you're on the right path. That's the first thing you have to do is a team.
Yeah.
You know, so you did the right thing, the right steps, you know, with the cameraman, different things to part of your team.
Yeah.
So this way, you know, you get people involved, like you gave them a shout out. All little things count. Because right now, there's probably no money coming in. So everybody doing it on the strength.
Yeah.
And everyone's specializing in certain things and what they do best, which is good, because that's how you make it. That's how you make it by.
Right, so what are you doing for us, branding and marketing? Cool.
And marketing. So basically, our videos are our bread and butter. That's what we're doing. Actually, we're about to come out with an app and do vlogs all on the app and all through YouTube. Basically, with different people telling their story, their nothing, and why, where they came from. Different people telling their story and getting their story out there, just to give people the inspiration and the strength to be able to tell their own story. Like if I come out and say something, obstacle that I had to go through, it makes it easier for you to come out. Because now you're like, oh, I just seen him talk about what he went through. I went through something too. And then we just keep motivating. So that's our key, just trying to motivate people and try to get people. We don't do anything fancy. Really, like I said, it's really our message behind everything
Which
we're
is
doing.
good, because people get to find out they have more in common than they really think.
Exactly. And to answer your question earlier, we actually do have a whole women's side dropping in a couple weeks, actually, and like crop top hoodies, leggings, tank tops, getting ready for the summer. So we got a lot of stuff for women coming out. Definitely.
Oh, great.
What you got for the guys?
What I got for the guys, so we got some shorts coming out, some different color shirts. We're actually introducing the Count Yourself In this spring. So a lot of our stuff has Soon on it with the CY Soon and the interior tag, stuff like that. But we want to really focus on the Count Yourself In piece this season. So what we just did was we dropped a video on our Instagram that went everybody actually loved it, with some Count Yourself In stuff and just what Count Yourself In means and stuff like that. So that's what we dropped, and everything really is going to be focused on Count Yourself In this season. About all believing in yourself, pushing through it. It's the summertime. A lot of people who work out don't want to work out. It's hot. Summertime, I want to go to the beach. I want to chill. So we want to drop the Count Yourself In section now, just to remind people that you have to believe in yourself, because nobody's going to give you anything. Everybody might not believe in you. You got to believe in yourself.
So you work 7 days a week?
For sure. Actually, we had postseason today. I just came from practice, hopped on the highway, came straight here. So I'm always trying to work, always trying to find a way to get better.
So when you're creating and developing, who would you say your style is like, or would you say you have a lot of individuality in what you're creating?
Can you repeat that for me? You're saying like in the fashion industry?
Yes.
In the fashion industry, I feel we try to be ourselves. I don't really know too much. Obviously, like Nike, Adidas, those are the big sports brands out there. But we try to be original and try to be ourselves with everything in terms of creating, like things that we don't see and things that we like. Also, a lot of my friends play sports, so I get an inside scoop of what they like. Like Nike, they have something called focus groups that I've been a part of, and basically in the focus groups, they ask you, "Oh, would you like this? Would you like that?" So now, instead of calling different people in, I got my own focus group. I got my own team. I ask them, "What you guys like? What you guys think?" Call my high school coach. Go to my high school games. Ask that team what they think, what they like. I ask my dad. Ask my friends, my uncle, stuff like that.
Right, trying to get advice pretty much from everybody. And what I like is you get advice from all ages. So that way you can see which you can pull in all type of crowds.
Yep,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
So do you use like technology for design or sketch?
So basically, like I said, I'll have Ryan sketch something up. I'll have my boy Ryan sketch something up. He'll send it back to me. We'll work on it, and then I'll send it to like a graphic designer or graphic artist who can put it on the computer. Because sometimes how we write things, it might not come out that way on the computer. It might be difficult to get that. So
The
that
exact image, right?
exactly. So that's what I go through. I send to him, and then whoever my manufacturer is, I'll send that copy of that photo to them, of the file to them, of what we want to do, where we want to put it. Then we work like that.
So if I want to get like a nice little hoodie and some sweatpants and some shorts or something, how would I get it?
cyassume.com. That's our website. cyassume the brand. It's our Instagram. And basically, we don't have the sweatshirt. We're working on that for next season. It's getting hot outside. This weather is kind of confusing. So that's one of the hardest things is to try to figure out when to drop different things. Because one day it'd be 90, next day it'd be snowing. So you never know this New York weather. So just trying to figure out everything. But definitely cyassume.com. You can get all your gear at.
But also remember, sweatpants, you can never go wrong.
Right.
You can wear that all year around.
You're right.
So that's definitely good that you guys are going to be doing that.
So you're really pumping the hoodies and the t-shirts hard right now.
Yeah, that's my bread and butter. One thing that I didn't agree with my dad and my first manufacturer when I first started, it was like, just start slow, let people understand what one thing is. I wanted to do 10 million designs when I first started. I said, I want to do this, oh yeah, and that. So that was the main thing I learned, to just slow down and see what people like, the different colorways people like. And I'm just moving off that.
Right. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense, because in that way you're not losing out and you're still building, where you're not putting out too much financially, exactly. Where you guys is like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, and then it doesn't sell. So you definitely want to see what sells and what works, and that definitely works, because sweaters and tees, it always sells. That's all all year round too. So.
All right, so tell us about your web series, My Grind. Tell us about that.
My Grind, that's actually, I can't take credit for that. That's actually my boy, creative director, Randy. He came to me last year and he told me he wanted to do a series, just My Grind, similar to what we're about to do with the Zoom vlogs, just with people telling their stories, different adversity they face. So he came to me, he's like, bro, you perfect. I want you to be my first episode. I said, you got it, bro. Whatever you say, let's do it. Let's get it done. I didn't realize till then, actually, what we were doing. I'm like, bro, this is so dope. So I was proud of him for doing that. That's all him. I can't take credit for that. But that's when I knew, look, when I start this, you got to be on the team. Like, we gonna help each other. We gonna make it together. So that's everything. Everybody.
Teamwork. That's how you get there.
Yes.
Teamwork. All hands on deck.
Yes, sir. All hands
no
on
I
deck.
in team, like they say.
We all work together to get the job done. You know, people see me, CEO, but I just always want to make sure I incorporate my friends, because without them, this CY wouldn't be where it's at right now. Because they work they do a lot. My boy KJ, my boy Randy, my boy Ryan, they do a lot. Even my outside friends, those guys are special too. Like my best friends, when I first came out with shirts, I was giving them out to my friends, like, here guys, can I post this? And they literally were giving it back to me, like, nah, here, give me $20 for the shirt. Now I'll take it. So that was the biggest thing. Yeah, my friends really supported me. My friends really showed me love. So it's everybody I have around me that I consider close friends in my circle.
And that's a beautiful thing. See, now you get the best of both worlds. You have business partners and then your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's good. You're definitely on the right path.
So where you see your clothing line like in the next 5 years?
Honestly, I want to say this in the most humble way, but I feel like we're going to be on top of the world. That's the goal, to take over, to inspire, to motivate. I see us doing a lot of different things with the vlogs, our app. I see us doing a lot of different things to the point where people just mention us all the time. They can't say soon without thinking about something out of nothing. Mm-hmm. They can't say count without thinking count yourself in. Yeah. You know, they're gonna know all of our names, and I just feel like we're gonna be special. We're gonna keep working together, and we're gonna do something that's never been done.
See, what I like about your whole story is the fact that, you know, I know you a long time, you know your pops, your family. But I like the fact that your mind, your thoughts, young entrepreneur.
Yes, sir.
You know, you're a young entrepreneur, you think in business early. You think of being your own boss early. And that's a great thing, you know, because they say in life, if you ever want to be successful, you got to work for yourself. You know, it's cool to have a job and all that type of stuff, but you always just want to have a job. Yeah. But when you get your own, that's when you can take control. That's when you can command bigger things, bigger dreams in your life when you go for it. And I can see the passion in you with that. Passion is big, man. Like Doc said, you know how many days a week you do it? 7 days. Because it's your own, man. And then you got your team, they work in 7 days. And that's how y'all gonna become successful, man. And that's what I'm getting from you right now, your energy, man.
Yes,
You're gonna win like that.
I appreciate that. That's one of the things I try to pride myself on. Like, it's gonna be hard now. I gotta work now, but I had it kind of easy in terms of just coming up, because the day I'm breathing, healthy, why not? Everybody got the same 24 hours. My friends and I, we decided to go get it in our 24 hours. That's our thing. We gonna grind. That's he called it my grind. And I literally I'll send a group chat, weekly goals every week. All my friend groups, different group chats, I'll send them different things a week to think about, for everybody to think. I always wanted my friends to have the same type of mindset as me in terms of not just thinking about today, but thinking about the future. Also thinking about the little things that matter and how one thing can affect the future. So that's the biggest thing we all try to do. I try to hang around like-minded people who all have the ambition to get better. Because now when one person's doing something, we're pushing the next person. That's what it's all about, pushing each other, getting better, getting to the ultimate goal.
And that's good, because it's hard to find like 4 people on the same page. And this is your vision, and to bring them into your world, and they all, feel the same passion you do. Like you said with your cameraman, he had his vision with his camp, and y'all came together.
Yep. Yes, definitely. And it's 4 of us that's a part of CY soon, but my friend group is probably 8 of us all together, and it just, those guys keep me going too. Like we talked about Cole earlier, that's my right-hand man. He going to UNC, he could be a potential draft pick. So it's like, that makes me want to get in my game even more. It's like, I'm not going to be a leech. We're going to be on top together. That's what we say all the time, all my friends. Like, I'll never say to one of my friends, I have one of my friends say to me, I'm going to take care of you. I got you. Like, appreciate it, bro. But nah, we got each other. We going to be good together. We going to be on top together. So that's my thing. I look at my parents and I tell them, well, even if I don't tell them, I'll tell myself, like, in a couple years, we going to be good. Got a little sister, a couple years, we going to be good. And that's just how I look at everything, because I just look at it. If I bust my behind now and I work as hard as I possibly can now while I'm young, I'm older, got some time to take care of myself, to relax, to chill.
That's a good thing. Like you said, you handle your business on this end, Cole, y'all best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So he won't feel that you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if he extend himself to help you, anything like that, never feel no way like, damn, like now because I ain't no leech.
Yeah.
He see your grind before he even did it.
Yeah.
So I always say that because a lot of people get stuck in that. I've been stuck in that too right now. But you know the truth is, and also it could become like a way where he help you, you help him. Yeah. So it's not like you're leeching, y'all working together.
Definitely.
So what would you say is your favorite part of it all, as far as combination of you being a basketball player and now you creating and designing clothes?
This part of it all is those DMs you get from those kids who feel like they aren't anything or they can't be anything. And just to know that you're inspiring somebody, that's probably the most powerful thing that I can receive. Like, regardless of the money, anything. Knowing I'm affecting one kid's life in a positive way, that's probably like the biggest blessing, because that's the goal, to try to change the world. So we want to bring positivity and light to the world, and I want to motivate and inspire. So when I get one of those messages, that's probably the best part for me. Like, I appreciate you, what you're doing. I seen how far you came. There's people who knew me when I was 6, 5, and I was just running around shooting basketballs. People come up to me like, how to LaSalle, I didn't know you could do it. You did it. I'm proud of you. Those type of things is like, yeah, I believed in myself and I did it. So anybody can do it. So that's probably the best part for me. Just knowing that I'm motivating, I'm inspiring, I'm helping, I'm keeping the kid out the streets. That's it.
So can you let the people know where they can find you?
Well, they can find me, always hooping if anybody want to catch a game, or in summertime, I'm in all the Harlem parks giving out some work. Everybody want to step up the garbage. But on Instagram.
You want some work out?
Yeah.
Listen, man.
Sure?
Yeah,
I want some.
you and my dad, y'all was talking like y'all was nice back in the day. Listen, we can have a little reminiscing going on. We can go whatever park y'all feel comfortable at. You know, what's today's date? April.
I mean, I ain't saying nothing. Doc and your dad talking like, you know, they want to get together and just get some work, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you've been ducking too, because you said something to me a minute ago, man. We still ain't.
I don't want to do it to you, man.
Listen, all right.
I might have to take you on that. You know, I'm pretty nice to myself too. You know, I was picked most athletic in
I'm
my
not trying
school.
to
Okay.
You
But
keep
come
talking for a
on,
long
stop
time.
cutting me off right now. Please stop cutting me off. Most one of my favorites was basketball.
Oh,
So
really?
and my favorite shot was the foul line. So I probably could just take you down right there.
Oh,
I don't gotta be. I don't doing
listen,
all that running
just-
around. I just hit it from there. And that's it.
I don't take it easy. I don't play that. I don't care who it is.
I'm just
Listen,
saying
you
right
step
there,
on the
I'm
court.
not-
You step
I'm
on the
not-
court, it's gonna be lit.
I'm not rolling around. I'm just right there. I'm not gonna give you a chance.
All right. Somebody might get dunked on real quick. I'm just.
Yeah, I just got a research team. I just pulled something out. I just want to read it real quick because it's kind of cool. So you attended the 2014 Nickelodeon Hollow Awards in New York City. And you did a photo op with Zendaya Coleman and Nick Cannon. Tell us about how you got there and how did the opportunities arise from you.
Yes, sir. Well, my dad, Cole's mom, Cole, all of us, my other friend group, my boy Judah, shout out to them. We had a documentary called Little Ballers, which was basically about my dad's fourth grade, third grade, fifth grade AAU team and how they went to nationals and they played their hearts out and stuff like that, and they didn't win. Sorry for anybody who didn't see it, who wanted to see it. Spoiler. They didn't win. So it was basically a documentary about that, produced by Mario Stoudemire, Lupe Fiasco, and it actually, my dad, my aunt, it actually was premiered on Nickelodeon. So we did a couple of, like marketing stuff for it. So the first thing we did, which I'm really excited about, I got to play. We shot a commercial with my favorite player, Kobe Bryant, the greatest player. I don't want to hear that LeBron stuff.
That's right, Kobe, baby.
Kobe,
Right.
exactly.
So got you a Kobe fan. Man.
Yeah, of course.
Man, that's how we got real close behind Kobe. Yeah, that's right.
I shot a commercial with Kobe, and the first thing I said to him was that he couldn't guard me. Now I beat him 1-on-1. And so
it went viral, right?
Yeah,
it went viral.
He threw me the ball. He threw me the ball and said, "Score 1 point on me, you win." I said, "What? You serious?" So I remember this move like it was yesterday. So Kobe's guarding me. He jabbing at me. He backing up. So I go between the legs once, between the legs twice. He jabbing at me. Do I in and out? I'm like, should I shoot? Should I try to go to the basket? This is my one chance. So I see him back up. He said, "You ain't gonna shoot." I just shot it. I threw it up. It went in. I ran around the whole gym twice. Started yelling, going crazy.
Yeah,
So that was my most memorable moment. And then we got into a shooting contest. I did a lot of push-ups. Got a lot stronger that day because I lost every single one. So that was a really great experience. And then after that, we did the Halo Awards. We were on the orange carpet for the premiere. And that was just a great experience, just being on the orange carpet. I love the attention, so all the cameras in my face. I was like, which one I'm looking at, So that was great. And that whole Little Ballers promo, that was probably one of the best times of my life for sure.
You went to Hawaii. When you went to Hawaii? You didn't go to Hawaii something like that?
When? Recently?
No, not Hawaii. Where you came from on a trip?
Bahamas or St. Bart's. Oh, you talking about when I was in Bahamas with like Shaq?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so we were my boys, me, Cole, Judah, Joe. We take an annual trip out to the Bahamas. We took an annual trip out to the Bahamas. Cool with Shaq's sons. We played some ball with them. And then Shaq came outside. He's a DJ, so we were about to go to one of his DJ performances, and we were outside. It was on the Little Rim. And he was like, "Yeah, nobody's ever dunked on me. Like, only one person's ever dunked on me." I was like, "I can dunk on you right now. I can dunk on you right now, So I tried dunking on him.
Didn't happen, right?
It's just like, he didn't even try to force anything at his arm right there. Ran right into his arm. And I was like, okay, that's a big dude, you know. So yeah,
definitely,
so it's like his forearm was probably like covering my whole face. Like if we went like that, it covered my whole face. So that was definitely a good experience. A good experience. They're all cool, that whole family. So really good.
All right, so once again, if anybody want to find out, you know, where to get your clothing, apparel from, where could they get it?
Follow us on Instagram at CYI Soon the brand, and then you can find our website CYIsoon.com, CYISOON.com. You know, get your merch. Everybody has a different story. You know, count yourself in and make something out of nothing.
Tell them what podcast you're on.
You already know I'm on the B139.
Hey,